Application parts are templates, but unlike a standard database template, application parts can be full databases, as well as parts as small as a single table or other object, or even combinations of objects. Access for Office also allows us to get even more granular with our reusable content, though. This means that we can add groups of predefined fields instead of having to add or define them one at a time. The concept is very similar to application parts, but also a little different. So, let's explore this new feature using a new blank table. I'm in the Create tab and I'll click on Table. This is the format we're used to. Word opens, and by default it has an ID and a click to add option for adding new fields. The main part of our screen doesn't look different, but notice our ribbon, because when we are in this view, we have a Table Tools contextual tab. There are really two tabs here, one called Fields and one called Table. From the Fields tab, we get things that we would expect. We can add just generic fields of a specific type like text, number, or currency. However, one of the entries here is called More Fields. I'll display that, and you can see that, again, we get some very generic things, such as rich text or attachment. We also get some options that combine multiple steps, like selecting a data type and applying a format to it with one click. If I continue to scroll down, though, I can see that they have these for several of our data types. But at the very bottom, we have something called Quick Start. If I wanted to create a student table, and if I didn't know about the other options, or if I wanted to create a quick set of address fields, I would click the Quick Start group. And once again, I have to say, wow, here we go. Address, city, state and province, zip and postal code, country and region, it's all here. How easy was that? All I had to do was use the More Fields option from our Fields tab. In the ribbon, you'll see a lot of other options here. Now I don't have to go all the way into Design View to work with properties. I can set names, captions, default values, field sizes. Depending on what type of field it is, I can work with expressions and memo settings. I can also work with formatting, like the number of decimal places, and I can even check if they are required, should be unique, should be indexed, or if there are validation rules. All of this is right from the Datasheet view, and it's one of the two tabs that are part of the Table Tools contextual tab. If I change the properties of any one of the fields, for example, if I chose state and province and I made some changes, like I knew it shouldn't be 255, but I only wanted it to be 2 characters to limit it to the 2-state abbreviation, I could type in 2. That's a very simple example, but what I want to show you is that if you select a field and modify it, and it's exactly the way you want, including all of the properties and validation and even lookup properties, now you can actually save a field itself. This is simply a matter of selecting the field, setting it up the way that you want, going back to that More Fields drop-down, and if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see another option that says Save this selection as a new data type. I'm doing this for one field, but you could select multiple fields and create a set, like the address set that we used to originally modify this table. Once again, I need to give it a name, so I'll call it My State. Because we know that we already have a state field defined, so this will set it apart a little differently. It might not be the best name, but it will work for what we need. Again, I get the option to save it into any category, and then I simply say OK. It tells me that again, it's been saved successfully to my templates folder. Anytime I want to use it, I can come back up to More Fields, go to my custom category, and I can see that My State is available here as well. I'll click off of that and deselect it. At even the most basic level of access, which is table design, we have several improvements to make us more efficient through the development process. Creating tables and fields, along with properties, etc., is easy for me, but if I can save commonly used components and reuse them, that helps me to be more efficient and more consistent in my development work. If you are new to Access, this provides a tool you can use so you don't have to know everything about Access, in order to create powerful, consistent, and quality tables. That really is what makes Access so great, bringing people into the Access fold who might have been left out because they didn't know about relational database design. These tools help bring them in and appreciate what Access really has to offer.